let's talk about the importance of limiting our screen time. Hey everybody, Christina Hooper here. I just wanted to jump on and talk to you guys about the benefits of bringing our screen time down. So by screen time, I mean anything to do with TV, tablets, phones, computers. So eliminating our screen time is a huge factor in so many circumstances when it comes to our lives. I feel like the amount of screen time has increased, especially in the last year. Obviously, because we are doing more Zoom calling, video chatting, connecting, contacting, etc. Whether or not it's through school, through work, through obviously just trying to connect with people. So I find that the benefits are fantastic because we have obviously the technology to help us work through all of this. But I do find there are some negatives when it comes to too much screen time. So when is enough, or when is it too much? So I found that there are, well, right now I'm just going to give you guys 4 reasons why we should limit our screen time. The first one is going to be reducing eye strain. So obviously, as you guys know, staring at a computer screen too long, I remember this going to university, even doing certain training programs through, when I was working for a job or working for a company, just that constant eye strain of looking at a computer, bright lights in your room, in your office, can play a role. So definitely by just taking every 20 minutes, taking a moment to just turn away, go for a walk, go to the washroom, go get some water, rejuvenate, get the muscles moving and working, just getting that blood flow kind of happening. We can just kind of refocus, recenter ourselves by reducing that type of eye strain. So like I said, your focus tends to be so much on that screen, like I said, whether or not it's the computer, iPad, phone, etc. But taking that break every 20 minutes or so will actually give you better productivity. So I'll talk about that in a sec. So that's number one. So, a reduce in eye strain will be the first one if you do limit that screen time. The second one is going to be huge actually for many people, is helping prevent or minimize headaches and migraines. So obviously our eyes are working very hard to concentrate whatever's on that screen, especially with phones. They're obviously much smaller to look at, so our eyes, if we don't have the proper eyewear, if we're either not wearing our eyewear or have something so small that we're trying to force ourselves to read it, it definitely can wear and tear on our eyes. So help preventing headaches will include obviously playing with the blue screen on the settings on your phone to making sure that your phone isn't too bright or too dull, and then that we're not using, so the eye strain kind of goes into headaches and what can cause headaches and migraines. So taking the time away, setting time limits for ourselves and our children too. So this does not apply just to ourselves, to definitely building these small habits now with our young kids as well, so that they don't bring these bad habits into adulthood. So as adults, we still need to relearn these things because, again, technology has only been around for the last 10, 15, 20 years, and obviously has advanced, so much in the last, well, just even say 5 years. So giving ourselves that grace and that part of getting outdoors, like I spoke about in our last video, and getting our, finding time away from the screen is really what I want to talk to you guys about. The screen is fantastic, TV is fantastic, so are computers, so are tablets, so are games, so are everything that we use our phones and all this technology for. But getting outside and taking a break from it is super important as well. Obviously, so taking away the screen time to minimize eye strain as well as headaches. And the third one's going to be improving sleep. So I am so guilty for not going to bed, say, earlier than I normally could have, because I was either A, watching TV, B, scrolling through Facebook or Instagram or whatever apps we have. C, listening to music, so again, there's many different factors. I know music is not screen time, but, having something that's a distraction. So instead of going back to, hey, laying down, reading a book, using that device in front of you into the wee hours of the night will keep our brain is still going. So we're stimulating our brains and our eyes and everything else by watching that screen. So whatever it may be. So if we choose to set a time limit each day on our screen time, so say at 9 o'clock, that's it. All phones get plugged in, TV gets shut off, and either we actually go to sleep or, we read a book or, talk to our spouse or, something that's productive, something that's, tuck the kids in. But giving ourselves a limit as to when you're just going to say, okay, enough is enough, because it obviously can go into wee hours of the night and you end up, spending way more time on your phone, your tablet, your TV than you wanted to. So that's a great one too, is setting a time limit for the day so that you actually can get a better sleep and you're not waking up saying, oh, I really wish I didn't watch that movie till late at night. I mean, it was a great movie, but you know what I mean? So setting limits for ourselves is still okay as adults. Just the same way it is okay as we do it for our kids, it's okay to do that for ourselves as well. So in the fourth one I wanted to talk about is actually limiting our screen time can actually increase our focus and productivity. So if we actually take a little bit of a way, or we set barriers and time limits on this part of our lives, it actually can be more productive. So just like I had said when I was working for a company, getting up and walking, going to the bathroom, getting up and going and getting some water, just taking that time away will actually help us kind of refocus. It's the same idea as going outside. We kind of get that burst of fresh air and we get a chance to refocus and just kind of bring our thoughts together. And sometimes we can come back with, a better, bigger idea. So, just walking away from the situation. So whether or not it's you're in front of your computer, you're sitting there, you're stumped, you don't know what to do next with a project, say you're working on, to get up and kind of walk away, go get a breath of fresh air, and then come back and you're like, oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. So again, it can increase your focus over the long period of time if you deal with your technology and your screen time in short intervals instead of doing it and, elongating it out throughout the entire day. It's definitely going to be more effective if we take more breaks throughout. And then again, like I said, we set those time limits in the evening as well. So again, screen time does not just apply to children. It should apply to adults as well. Again, technology is an amazing thing, but sometimes, making barriers and making rules for ourselves too as adults is so important, because we have to set limits for ourselves as well. Because again, screen time is not something that we dealt with 20 years ago. I remember 20 years ago, my computer thing was pretty big. So again, we've come a long way with our tablets and phones being much smaller and smaller, but again, they can create some barriers for us and some, issues that come up, like I had mentioned, with headaches and eye strain, etc. So we want to create limits with ourselves as well as adults, so that we can enjoy and be productive when we are using our screen time. So whatever device that may be, I hope you guys found some useful information in here. And yeah, thanks for joining me. Christina here, checking out. All right, you guys, have a great day. And yes, I am parked. I just wanted to make it clear. I'm just having a break. But taking a time away from that screen time is absolutely fantastic. So I thought I'm gonna sit here, have lunch in my car today, but this is the only time I'm popping on to my phone. But the rest of the day I'm gonna take a break from it. So I hope you guys can do the same. All right, you guys, take care. Bye-bye.